Hey guys, so today what we are going to be looking at are decision making statements in Java and loops in Java. So decision making in any programming language is similar to decision making in real life. The decision making statements that we'll be looking at today are if and else, if, else. Now, if statement is like the most simple decision making statement in Java. Now, when you think of a if statement in real life, it's like if this condition is satisfied, then execute this. So, the same way we'll be doing it in Java. Now, if you look at the flow chart, you'll be able to get it. When this test expression is true, it'll go to the body of if. If it's false, it'll go to the statement just below if. Now, when you look at this code, I've initialized the integer I to be 10, and now I'm checking. This is a check statement which says if I is less than 15. It checks if I is less than 15. So that's the test expression. Now the body of if is statement system.out.println is that I is less than 15. So 10 is less than 15. So that is the body of if. Now if I is greater than 15, it will go on to say that, which is a statement below if, which is that system.out.print I plus greater than 15. Now this is a simple if statement which works on this condition. Now the next decision making statement we'll be looking at is if else. The if statement alone tells us if a condition is true, it will execute this. Now what if it is false? What do you want it to say? Although the statement outside the if block tells us that this is what it should do if this is not satisfied, but sometimes it is also needed to show what it does if it is false. We use that to show that if this expression out here is true, execute this statement. If it is false, execute this statement. Now this code out here, if a number is even, by checking this test expression, it will display us that the number is even. If it is false, the number is odd. The flow chart out here would easily explain to us that the test expression is there. Then you have the, if it is true, you execute the body of if it is false, you execute the body of the else, and then you go on to execute the statement below the if and else. If you want to check something in the middle of something, you would use if and else. The next statement we'll be looking at is the if else if ladder. Now here a user can define multiple options. The if statements are executed from top down. As soon as one of the conditions controlling the if is true, the rest of the ladder is bypassed and the statement inside the if or the else if loop is executed. If you look at the code here, I'm trying to show if the number I is positive, if and the expression that I'm using here if is I greater than 0 to show if I is positive, I less than 0 to show I is negative, that is you checking it. If it is not positive, what are the possibilities? If again I can be less than 0 to show that it's negative, and if it's false for both of these if and else if statements, you go to the else and you say I is 0 and then you execute the system.out.println n. Now if you look at the flowchart, you'll be able to understand. Now if you look at the test expression 1, you execute it, you check if it is true or false. If it is true, you display this, you execute the statement and then you bypass all the others and you come outside the if and else if ladder. Now if it is false, you go to the next test expression, you check that. If it is true, you display this and then you bypass the rest, or else you go to the next. Now since there are no more else if in this case, you're not going to keep on checking it if it is true or false or true or false. It's directly going to the body of the else and then you execute this and then you say end. Now we'll look at looping in Java. So looping in any programming language is a feature that facilitates the execution of a set of instructions repeatedly while some condition evaluates to true. Now Java has three main ways of executing the looping. One is the for loop, the while loop, and the do while loop. Now we look at the for loop. The for loop provides a concise way of writing the loop structure. Now, when you look at a for loop, you need three things. You need the initialization condition, the testing condition, and the increment or the decrement. And once the testing condition is satisfied, it will go on to execute what is inside the for loop, the statements. If you look at the flow chart here, what it does is it starts, it initializes, that's the initialization, it does the condition checking. Now, if the condition which is checking is true, it will execute the statement and then increment or decrement how many ever you want. But if the condition is false, it will come out of the for loop and will execute whatever is there outside the for loop. Maybe the end of the program or a few more lines after the for loop. Now, if you look at this for loop inside the main function, first what we do is we initialize the integer I to be 0, and then we give it a checking condition that I should be less than 10, and then we increment it by 1 in this case. I plus equal to 1 means that I equal to I plus 1, so incremented by 1. And now this checking statement is satisfied for the first condition, so what it will do is it will print I. Now then it will increment I, which will turn into 1 and then 2 and then so on. Now when you run this code in CMD with the lines Java C for loop Java, I've saved the code under for loop. Once the code is compiled, you run it under for loop, it will print out each of the numbers less than 10. It does not print out 10 because you have the condition is to be less than 10. So 0, next will increment by 1, which is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Once it reaches I as 9, it will increment. It will increment I to be 10, but the next time if it checks the condition statement, it will be false. So what it will do is it will come out of the for loop and it will close the program in this case. The next loop we'll be looking at is while loop. Now while loop is a control flow statement that allows code to be executed repeatedly based on a given boolean condition. Now if you look at the flow chart, what it says is it starts the program, it checks for the condition checking statement, it checks that boolean condition. If it's true, it will execute the statement or statements inside the while loop. If it's false, it will come out of the while loop and do the statements below the while loop. Now when you look at a code which is displayed here, I have written that in a class while demo. Now in the main function what we have is first we initialize a variable called x to be 1, and then now I've written a while loop, a simple while loop. What it does is it will check this boolean condition which is x less than 4. Once this boolean condition is satisfied, it will execute the statements inside the while loop. Now what are the statements is print the value of x and then increment the value of x. So at the first case, once initialized, it will check the boolean condition. If it is true for the first value, so it will print the value of x and then increment. It will go on until x reaches 4, and then again it will go to check the condition checking statement. Since x is not less than 4, it will come out of the while loop. Now we'll compile this code using the keywords Java C and then the name of the Java file while demo.java. Now then we'll run the class bytecode while demo, Java while demo. See, value of x is 1, value of x is 2, value of x is 3. After printing the third line, it will increment x to be 4. But since the boolean condition is not satisfied, it's false in the boolean condition, it will come out of the while loop. Now next loop we'll be looking at is a do while loop. Now a do while loop is similar to a while loop with only difference that it checks the condition after executing the statements, and therefore is an example of exit control loop. Now when you look at the syntax, you can see the do and then you do the statements given, and then there's while and then there's a condition. So how it works is in the flow chart, you start, you give the statement and then you do the checking. If it is true, you continue with the statement again. If it is false, you end it. Now if you look at the code here, which I have written under the class do while demo and the function main, so what I initially do is I initialize a variable called x to be 2, and then in the do I've written statements. I've shown that you print the value of x and then you increment it. Now x plus plus is the same as writing it as x plus equal to 1. Both are the same. And then after these statements are executed, the condition statement is that you check while x is less than 2. Now if you have written this in a while loop, it wouldn't have written any statement. But once you're doing it in a do while loop, what it will do is it will return the statement once, even if such a condition is given that x is less than 2. That is not possible once it is incremented. So even if such a condition is given, it will show the statement at least once. Now we will run the code in the command prompt using the words javac do while demo.java, and then we'll run the bytecode do while demo. Then you see value of x is 2, so it's executed once and then it goes for the condition checking. Now these condition statements and looping in Java play a really vital role when you are programming, and it really helps you in programming various problems and various situations. So it's really helpful that you go over this and get yourselves cleared on what are the loops and what are the conditional statements. Thank you.